Hello, today we are going to look at chapter 12.4, comparing sets of data. It's on pages 771 through 778. And we really only need to talk about two pieces from this section, the first two examples. So let's get started. What are we going to have to do? Again, copy the notes and the problems from this video, and then ask a question about the lesson. This is also going to be a calculator heavy lesson, so if you haven't watched the first or second video on how to enter data in and get the 5-number summary or the standard deviation from the calculator, then you want to go back and watch those first. All right. So, transformations. Transformations using addition. So, essentially what we're doing here is we're going to be adding a value or subtracting to every set in the data. But you really don't have to do that. The mean, median, and mode of the new set can be found by adding k to the original. So, you can find your mean, median, mode of the original and then just add or subtract that k value to the mean, median, and mode only. The range and the standard deviation will not change. Okay, so again, for addition, all you got to do is add whatever the number is to the mean, median, mode, the m's, and then the range and the standard deviation will not change from what you get from your calculator. All right, now the other type of transformation is using multiplication, and that k value, when you multiply, changes everything. So all you have to do is plug in the original information into your calculator and then multiply everything by that k value, and you'll have all of the information you need. All right, so let's take a look at one. So we want to find the mean, median, mode, and range and the standard deviation of the data set obtained after adding 7. Now you could go through and add 7 to each of those, but that can take some time. It's really not necessary, although you'll see in just a second that is a method that your book tells you. That's one way to do it. What I like to do is take my calculator and enter in all of these values, which I've already done, and I'll show you that in a second. All right, and then I'm just going to add 7 to the mean, median, mode, all right, because the range and the standard deviation in an addition transformation do not change. All right, so let's go to the calculator here. So as you can see, I've already entered in, there were 12 terms. I've already entered in all 12. All right, so I want to get that 5-number summary, which is, again, we've done this quite a few times now, the stat button. Get to the calculate menu, and we want that first option. We hit enter, and we're not looking for any of those. We are looking for, oh yeah, we are looking for the mean, sorry. So the original mean is 9. So that's the average. All right, so the mean was 9, and I'm going to have to probably go back to the PowerPoint to get the all the other things. The median. So looking at the calculator, the median is 8. The mode is most often. I'm going to have to go back and count to see that. The calculator doesn't give us mode, but we can easily find that in just a second. So those are the 3 things I'm going to add 7 to. And then the range is the minimum and the maximum. So the max is 14, the minimum is 4, and so the range is 14 minus 4, which is 10. That's not changing. And then, we want to go back to the standard deviation, which is this guy. We're going to call it 3.34. So the standard deviation is 3.34. Okay? And I got to go back to the PowerPoint to get the mode. I'll figure out what happened most often. And then I'm going to add 7 to these 3. I'm going to not touch these 2. Okay? So let's go back to the PowerPoint. All right. So let's see. 13, 8 is 3 times. I have a hard time believing anything else is 3 times. 5 is twice. Yep, looks like it's 8. All right. So, as you can see, the original set, we found the mean was 9. That was from our calculator. The median was 8. We got that. Mode, most often, came up 3 times. That was the number 8, so that was our mode. The range was 10. We had that, and the standard deviation, they rounded to the 10th place, 3.3. So I'm going to add 7 to the mean, median, and the mode. And 9 plus 7 is 16. 8 plus 7 is 15. 8 plus 7 is 15. These 2 did not change. All right, so that's how I do it. The other way to do it is to add 7 to all the data sets and then plug it into your calculator, which you can do. That's fine. Notice that 15 pops up 3 times. I think that's 12 extra calculations. I kind of like this. Get the original into your calculator, add or subtract to the mean, median, mode, and you'll be done. All right. So the next one, I'm going to pause to get the data into the calculator, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so we got the calculator here. I entered in the data, and here is where we're at. So the mean is 16. All right, so I'm going to write that down. The mean is 16. I do need the standard deviation in this case. It is 3. We'll call it 3.7. All right. The minimum was 10. And the maximum was 22, so 22 minus 10 is the range. And then the median was, where's that, 16.5. All right. Now, really quick, so we order the data if you ever want to do this by hand, not the mean or anything. All right, but what I'm looking for here is the mode. What happens most often, that is 12. So the 12 happened 3 times. All right, so I put them in order. First and last is the range. Okay, so that is there. And then if you want to find the median, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the middle term, but the middle term is between 16 and 17, or there are 2 middle terms. So you add those up and divide by 2, and that's how we get the 16.5. All right. Now, going back to the PowerPoint, I believe we had to multiply everything by 3. I'm not sure what the number is, so I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint real quick. But remember, when we're talking multiplication transformations, we just multiply every single number by that scale factor. And that really is the lesson here. So there's our original. Check to make sure we had it. We had all of those, so that's good. And then we just multiply everything by 3. So when we do that, we get these answers. So I just took every one of these and multiplied them by 3, and there is our new mean, median, median, mode, and range, and standard deviation after we multiplied everything, all of these terms, by 3. Or, shortcut way, find the information, multiply everything by 3. All right. So the key in the 2 examples from 12.4 that we're responsible for, when we add, when we do a transformation by addition, we only add to the mean, median, and mode, the 3 M's. The range and standard deviation do not change in a transformation by addition. Transformation by multiplication, we find the data and we can multiply everything. Mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation. We also multiply by the K value. All right. So that is the 2 problems from chapter 12.4. What I'd like you to do to add on to your WISC is I want you to try this one. A couple of ideas, put them in order. It might be easier to find the mode the most often. And you could probably do the median by hand if you wanted to. Put the values in your calculator, and once you're done, multiply all 5 by 0.8. I hope this video helps, and I'll see you guys next time.